Okay, this is my arcade retro machine, roughly about 20,000 games in it. I wired everything up, the lights run on an inverter, 110 to 12 volt. These are all wired up. The lights are separate, the power is separate. This is a 1080p HD 22-inch TV. This was a custom made sign, Super Games. They would not put the logo Super Mario, so I told them to make it look similar to Super Mario and put Super Games because the trademark they wouldn't do it. Okay, so basically I want to show you how this machine works. Now I do recommend on the machine, or if you just buy a box from me at 125, just a Raspberry Pi, which I'll show in another video. In basically that box, you want multiple controllers. For PlayStation, you need a PS3 controller, or Xbox, PS4, something like that. This is a PS3 slash PC. This is actually wireless, so I got a USB inside the Raspberry Pi. In the back there's a Raspberry Pi, just so you know. I'll show that in another video. Okay, so basically the nice thing about this is I didn't bolt this down. I left it like this so you can always work, because maybe a light might go out one day in a year or two, whatever, and you want to replace the lights. Very simple. So you can lift up on the panel. When you lift up on the panel, it's Velcro. You lift up slow. You don't want to break the TV. So you lift it up, and that's kind of what the control panel looks like, and the wiring I did, as you can see. Okay. Velcro's right here on both sides. Velcro up here, Velcro up there. These are the control boards right here. Okay. That's where your controls and everything work. The red wires is basically a negative and positive for the power of the LED lights. Okay. Now, you get a better look. We flip it over like this. Okay. Oh, press the button. Now you get a better look at the controls and stuff like that. Okay. As you can see, there's the inside. It's just TV, two HDMI ports. There's audio in here. You can hook up an amp and all that stuff. I didn't do that because this has stereo TV anyway, so you don't need it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close it back. You want to be gentle with this, kind of line it up. Make sure all your wiring is inside. Okay, and just kind of match it to the edge of this. So there you go. And just rub it like that, rub it like that. Look, it's back together again, okay? So now, let's go ahead and show you a few games. Like I said, you don't need this machine to do what I'm showing you. What I'm showing you is two videos in one. I'm going to show you a Raspberry Pi in general, just using the controller, and also these buttons here work on two-player games, different type of games. Now, these buttons don't work on every single game. There's about 20 consoles here. We got, I'll go over that right now. Game Boy Advance, 1017. Game Boy Color, 1386. Sega Master System, 494. Mega Drive from Sega, 1752. Nintendo 64, 248. Neo Geo, 150. Nintendo Entertainment System, 4270. And you know what? I guarantee you'll never play all those games. Neo Geo Pocket Color, 173. PC Engine, 415. PlayStation, 73. And then there's a Retro Pi for your settings to go in and out of your settings. Sega 32X, 41. Sega 1000, or SG 1000, 41. Super Nintendo, 6,536 games. Realtrex, 39. Atari 2600, 660. 7800, 114. LYNX, 90. Game Gear, 496. Game Boy, 1155. So basically that's the consoles I showed you right there. You can scroll through, pick what you want. Alright, so we're going to go for the video of this. We're going to go to Mario Kart and Nintendo 64. You do need to use this controller. These will not work right here. Okay? That's why I said this is recommended to have a USB wireless keyboard. a mini one, just small one. It don't matter how big. Okay, that's so if you get stuck in a game, because some of these games are so old that there's only certain ways of getting out. If you navigate after a while, you'll figure out you can just use these buttons, like 4 or 5. I mean 4 or 2 at the same time, and it'll hit you out. But some games get stuck in there; they won't let you out. So you want to use a wireless keyboard, so you can press F4 and get out, reboot the system. If worse gets worse, there's a switch right on the Raspberry Pi. Just turn the switch off, turn it back on. But if you don't want to do all that, then you just do it the way I just told you. Okay? It's recommended that you get retro controllers. If you want to play Nintendo 64, you can use this. But maybe there might be some Nintendo 64 games that this won't play. Just gotta remember, we got all kinds of triggers, new stuff to the new games these days that these don't require. Okay? Some of the games do, some of them don't. So therefore, all these systems the same way. There's retro controllers on eBay, probably 25 bucks, and get all 7 or 5 of different machines, and you'll have a Nintendo 64 retro USB that you know it's going to play all those games because it's made for the controller. It's better to get the controllers. You don't have to get every controller because a lot of the older games will work with this or work with that. Okay, that's what these buttons are for more of the older games. More newer games going to require something like this. Okay, so now let's go ahead and hit the A button, and let's go ahead and go to Mario Kart. Okay, Mario Kart. Just hit the start button. I'm using this controller right here. Nintendo, hit start. Start. Just remember those days when you wanted to play all these games and your family couldn't afford it, your parents couldn't afford it. Well, now something like this you can afford. At 125, you don't need this machine. This is going for 1K, no less. I will not do that. I built this, took a lot of time and a lot of money. So therefore, this game right here, you can do the same thing on a Raspberry Pi at 125. Buy your own controllers, HDMI, and you're great to go. Now, if you're an IPTV customer and you want IPTV or you want movies, I'll tell you what, I can put an SD card, 8 gigabyte in there, add with the 125 package, where you can put there and you can switch the cards out and play your Android for your TV, your gaming. You got 2 different cards, a 64 gigabyte and an 8 gigabyte card. Switch them in and out. All right, we're gonna hit start. I'm not gonna play this too long. I'm just giving you an idea how this works. Go. There we go. You can hit, I'm going to go ahead and end the game. So I'm going to hit start, hit quit. Every game has a different way of navigating out of them. Okay? So now, the tricky way to get out of this, you hit a few buttons and you find your way out. You just keep messing with the buttons and it'll click you right out. Just keep messing with these or messing with those. Okay, now let's go to a different game. This time we're going to use the joystick. Okay, let's put this controller down. And let's go ahead and use the joystick. Let's go to 1943. Hit the A button. Remember, we got 1 and 2 player for different games. All right. Some games you got to figure out how to navigate in. All right. Okay, the controller's not synced, so I'll go ahead and show you how you sync it. The reason why it's not synced, when I'm setting up this one, you want to unplug these USBs from the Raspberry Pi so you can set this up easier. Otherwise, it interferes when you're trying to set them up. But now we're going to go ahead and fix this problem now. So let's go ahead and just get out of here. You could probably actually use this controller for this game too. Let's just do that. and then I'll show you how you map these. You probably could use these, I'm not sure. I don't know 100% if you can use this controller or not on this game. Yeah, you can use this controller. See? You use that controller. See, I mapped this one. Those are not mapped. We will map them. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you do get a Raspberry Pi from me, you understand exactly how you map it. And if I'll support you all the way, I'll show you exactly how to do it. Just remember, when you map these controllers, just pull the regular button ones out. You won't be using a button if you don't buy the machine. So you won't even have that problem. You can use Bluetooth remotes and stuff like that. See, it's a pretty cool game. Alright, so I went and hit all the buttons so I can get out. And now I'm going to hit the A button and close this out. And I'm going to show you how to map these. Alright, this is how you exit. You just have to find a way to navigate out. Some games are easy, some games are not. Okay, so now we're going to map this. We're going to hit a start. You could have hit the start right here too. See, watch. Okay, you could have hit it right there. Start, start, or start, start. Okay, so let's go ahead and map this controller. Alright. We don't want to restart the emulation station. We want to map the controller. Yep, we map it. So the way you map this, just so you know, you're going to go ahead and hold the button down, and it'll do this. And you're going to go up, down, left, right, start, select, and whatever you want, A, B, and just go like that. That's what I do, okay? And then go ahead and hold this button down. If you have the machine, this is what you would do. If not, you don't have to do this, okay? So you can map the other controller the same way. Just hold it down like that. You got to put a hotkey, hit that one, and let's go ahead and hit that button. And just wait a second. Hit quit. It's going to ask you if you want to restart the emulation station. We want to do that. Every time you map a controller, you want to do that. Now that controller is mapped. Okay, so now let's go ahead and show you one more game, and then we'll end the video. We don't want it too long. Let's go ahead and go to, look at that. Okay, I just showed you the PC Engine. Let's go to a Super Nintendo game. There's so many games here. Let's go to a Super Mario Brothers. Or actually, it's not Super Nintendo. Thinking where some games are at. Show you. Let's go to a Super Nintendo game. This also has duck hunt and all that, but you will have to buy your own gun. So pretty much you see all the games. It goes in alphabetical order. This one can go too, but the controller is not mapped. You will map it the same way I just showed you, like this. You can also remap each game too if you had to. Let me see. Let's go to Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country. Let's try Donkey Kong Country. There's so many different ones and different categories here. Let's just try that one. Okay, Donkey Kong Country. Start. Alright, start. Oh, this is the Donkey Kong. It's not. I was looking for Donkey Kong Country. This is not it. Let's get out of here. Basically, get out of here. Actually, let's see. Oh no, this is Donkey Kong Country. Cool. So you got to press the buttons right. See, I'm more mapped on this controller right here. I wonder if we could play that game right there. I just want to get out of here. Okay, so we'll just get out of here. I need to show you how these are mapped, these controllers. It's a little tricky getting the map, tell you the truth, but we'll get it. Let's go to, it may not be mapped for that game. Certain games are just not going to be mapped to. You're going to have to use different controllers, like I said. Let's go to Super Mario Brothers. I want to find out if this controller is mapped. Should be mapped. This will tell me if it's mapped. It's just like I said, it's better to have the retro controllers, like I said at the beginning of the video. You can use Bluetooth controllers. Anybody knows how a Raspberry Pi works in the gaming emulation knows exactly what I'm saying, that it is called for multiple controllers. Like that controller up here, you see, that's an SNS controller. You get a controller like that with USB retro, it'll work for all these games. The emulation station pretty much tells you itself what controllers should use. I just try to bypass a lot of the stuff and use different controllers that I have. I only have a couple to mess with, but if you want to use this machine the right way, or use the Raspberry the right way, play all the games, I recommend the right controllers to the Raspberry Pi for the gaming system. You just go on eBay, like I said, and you'll find them there with a package deal. Alright, we got Super Bomber. Let's go to Super Mario. Where you at? Oh, there's so many games here. I couldn't even play all these games. Sure you can't either. The nice thing is you can play for a minute, go to another one. Just find the games you want to play. We got shooting games. We got Resident Evil, PlayStation games. We got different games here. There's just so many games to pick from. And I'm trying to show you the easiest games to play with the controllers. Alright, let's go for, I don't know, let's go for that one. There's different versions of Super Mario, okay? So let's go ahead and hit that one. There's different versions. Alright. Alright, let's see. Start. Oh, yeah, my controller is not mapped. Let's remap this controller. It's not mapped right. See, this controller is working too. These will work. You just got to map it right. But let me see if this controller will work for this game. This one right here. Let's see. Yeah, it works for this game. Cool. So that's what I'm saying. Some games, different games, they'll work. Some won't work. You got to figure it out. The system. All right. But if you have the right controllers, you can run fast and hit the button like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get out of the game. Okay, just go out of here. I'm going to remap that controller one more time. I might have to unplug this because this interferes a lot. Let me unplug it. That way it will be gone. Okay, so you just go to the back of the machine. Let's go to the back of the machine. Or your Raspberry Pi, however you want to do it. Okay, I hit the power. My power plug came off. There, it's back on. So yeah, we'll just take those controllers off. And now, we'll actually map it. Because this controller may be interfering because it is USB too. Alright, so let's turn on the Raspberry Pi again. Switch off, switch on. And there it goes. Okay? These have their own switch too. On a power inverter. Right, now this will map correctly. Okay. We need to use that controller to start the map. Then we can unplug it. My plug over here is sensitive on the cord. We'll just use one. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and power off, power on. Alright, this time we need to map this. We need to get this started though. This controller needed. That's why a USB or a wireless keyboard would be great for this, because then it's easier to navigate with that and use these at the same time. I would have had this all set up, but I'm trying to show you in the video exactly to get a machine like this, what you're going to go through to get it going. Okay, see, these are not mapped, so we're going to have to use this guy to map it. So let's hit start, but I'm going to show you now. I'm going to map it really easy. Just going to hit that button. Yes, we want to map it. Hold this button down, this one. The reason why, I only plugged one in, just to show you it's map. I'm going to map one. Let me go ahead and add the other one in. Okay, let's just switch off, switch on. Anytime you want, you can remove the USBs. You can switch off, switch on. Reboot the system. Now I could have had this all set up, show you in the video, but this is what I want to show you. That way, if you do buy a Raspberry Pi, I explain to you how you set the controllers up. If you buy just a Raspberry Pi, you're not using the machine. If you're using the machine, I want to show you, just in case you deprogram it somehow, how to actually get back going. Okay? So let's go ahead, just hit the start button. See, they act like they're mapped, but they're not mapped. You got to map them. Okay, we don't want to restart the emulation station. We just want to get out of here. Okay, go back to the map. Yes, we want to map the controller. Hold the button down, and let's go up, down, left, right, start, select, A, B, okay? And then the rest of them, don't worry about it, because we don't got those on this. Those call for different games. This is just for like Super Mario, Pac-Man, and stuff like that. I'm going to map the other side too. That way we have two maps at one time. Hit that button down. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and hit quit. And then we want to restart the emulation station like I showed you earlier. Go ahead and hit the button again. Restart the emulation. Okay, now let's go ahead and map this side over here. Wrong button. Okay, we want to configure. Wrong button. Hold that button down. I put quit. We don't want to do that. We got to find out which button maps. Let's do it again. It's good to use this too, it's easier. See? Map it. Now let's go ahead and map this button. Now you see why multiple controllers are used. Hold this button down, and now we can map this up, down, left, right. Start and select's already been picked. Hold this button down and go to your A, B, okay, and then just hold these down again, just like what I'm doing, and then the controller should be mapped. If there's interference, then I would just remove the USB controller while you're not playing with that controller. Just like if you have other controllers, retro controllers, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to have to remove controllers in and out, reboot, so you can use your other controllers so you can match all these systems. Alright, hit that. We always want to reboot the system. So again, there. Now they're mapped. Now if this don't work this time after they're being mapped, then I'm going to unplug that USB controller. I was just using it as a leverage to make these communicate. But that's what the wireless keyboard is for. That's why I recommend it. Alright, let's go now. Make this video a little faster here. Okay, let's just go to Nintendo. We're gonna go to Nintendo. Okay, now it's mapped. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to 1943. It's mapped. See? That's how you map the controller. Okay. I'm going to hit start. Some buttons you hit, doesn't necessarily going to hit start. Sometimes you got to hit these to get this going. See? Let's remove the USB to the game controller. There's interference. Reboot. Anytime you remove the USBs. So I removed the other game controllers so this communicate correctly. Go back to Nintendo. Oh, wrong button. We don't want to do that. There we go. Let's go back to 1943. Controller's still not mapped right. Now let's remap it. Up, down, left, right, start, select, A, B. Alright. Now let's see if it's mapped correctly. See, it's harder to map the buttons. It's better to have these controllers, like I said. It'd be a lot easier. We're just trying to work with what we have here. Start. Alright, let's give it another shot. Let's go to Nintendo. Okay. And it's mapped correctly this time. Let's go back to the same game. Should be able to hit start now. There we go. Mapped correctly now. A little tricky. That's why you need to have several different controllers so it's easy. What I'm trying to map is harder to map than what you would do just on a regular a Raspberry Pi. On a machine it's harder to map because these don't communicate exactly. You got to make them communicate. So let's go ahead and start playing this game. Figure it out. So you got to figure out how the game is even played. Okay. So I should be able to use this joystick now. Now I should be able to fire. There we go. See? We mapped it. You just do the same thing to other controllers. Alright? It's cool. So now you see the joysticks do work. I know I had a little trouble getting them going. That's why I should have had them all set up before I even made the video. But this is so you know how to do it. That's the reason why I'm doing this. You got to know the complicated part about it and the easy part about it. So basically, there's your game. Now I want out of here. I'm just gonna hit these buttons, and you're out of here. You just use this. You hit close, hit a button, and you hit out of here. Okay. Now you're out of that game. You don't even have to play the whole game. Let's go to Super Mario Brothers. Okay. That side just needs to be mapped the same way I showed you. It could be mapped already because I did map it already. Maybe this one just got misfigured. That controller there interferes. A Bluetooth controller won't interfere. That's why I recommend Bluetooth. I'm using a wireless USB and it's interfering. Not that you can't do them all together. You can. You're just going to be here trying to configure it for a minute. A lot of games here. I'll show you a couple more games and I'll end the video. Going to Super Mario. Okay, Super Contra. Oh, we got Super Contra. You know what? Let's just go to Super Contra instead because I haven't played this game in years. See how this does. Oh, let's go back in. The wrong button. Alright, let's see how Super Contra do. Alright, so we're going to hit our start button. So you can go to your 1 and 2 players. You would hit select. See that? Okay. Just for the heck of it, I want to see if it's even mapped. So we're going to go ahead and see if that one's mapped correctly. So we're going to hit start. So we got a 2-player game. Oh, it's both of us. Okay. Alright, so we got to play the game. Well, it's going to be hard to play 2 players at the same time. So let's just go with... Well, let's go ahead and go 2. Let's see if this controller over here is mapped. Okay, that one's mapped. See? So that is mapped. And I'm mapped over here. There we go. Can't move the other guy because I'm only one man. See, look. There we go. We're mapped. Now you can see 2 players actually work. So that's Super Contra. I want to add to this game. Just do that. So now you see that I mapped the controllers correctly, all the buttons correctly. If I want to go wireless again, I'm just going to go put the wireless controller in for other games. But these are good for a lot of games. It's just if you don't have the controllers, you have problems trying to map everything. It's better to have the correct controllers. Okay.